Dragonflight patch 10.1.5 will be launching later in the summer of 2023, and one of the biggest quality of life improvements we're going to see in patch 10.1.5 is the addition of the Siege of Orgrimmar raid skip on all difficulties that is also account-wide. The skip itself is really simple to unlock and only requires you to kill Garrosh one time on one character on any difficulty to unlock the skip for all of your other characters on your account. I've just entered the raid on Mythic difficulty on my druid, and it would appear that the skip itself is actually retroactive, because this character has killed Garrosh on Mythic difficulty before, but it was way before they introduced this skip to the raid. When you enter the raid, as long as you've killed Garrosh, you should see a scroll of past deeds hanging on the wall, and this is how you access the final boss. You click on the dialogue option and it should port you to the very end into the inner sanctum. Oh my god. Once you teleport with the scroll, it takes you to the inner sanctum, which is where Garrosh is, so you skip all of the other bosses that come before him. Then it's simply a case of going and killing Garrosh and having an attempt at your Corcoran Juggernaut if you don't have that mount, or the Tusks of Manaroth shoulder transmog if you are a plate wearer. It's as simple as that. This raid skip has been a very long time coming. The raid itself is incredibly long. It has 13 bosses in total, lots of which are really far spread apart, so you have lots of travel time. Lots of the raid is also indoors, so you can't mount. It just makes one mount run of this raid or one transmog run of this raid very long, so having an immediate skip to the last boss, which is where all the good stuff is super helpful. The skip is also super handy for specific boss fights that you get to avoid in this raid, because there were a couple that stood out back in the day for being really buggy. For example, the Spoils of Pandaria boss was really buggy. If you did it in the wrong order, if you did it too quickly, it would bug out and you'd have to start again. And the same applied to the Klaxi Council boss too. If you fought the Klaxi too fast, if you were just like one-shotting them as soon as they spawned in, you would bug the encounter out and have to start again. It just added a lot of unnecessary time to the farm when you're ultimately just trying to get to Garrosh. So now having the skip is just a super useful quality of life improvement, basically. If you've never killed Garrosh before on any difficulty across your account, to unlock the skip, just make sure you head into the raid, preferably on Mythic difficulty, just because that's the difficulty that will drop the mount, and you'll one-shot everything regardless of the difficulty as long as you're on a max level character, so don't worry about it too much. Kill Garrosh and all of your characters across your account will get the skip, which is great news for people who are farming the Corcoran Juggernaut, or perhaps have been avoiding farming the Corcoran Juggernaut previously because they knew how long it would take to do one mount run. It can take upwards of half an hour just to do one run, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how efficiently you can do it without bugging fights and things like that. And the same for the Tusks of Manaroth shoulder transmog for any plate wearers. So there we have it. I appreciate that was a really quick and simple video, but I just wanted to get it out there that in patch 10.1.5, once it launches, you will be able to skip to the end of Siege of Orgrimmar and kill Garrosh without killing any of the other bosses, as long as you've killed him before. And I'm kind of hoping that if they're starting to integrate skips for old raids now, I'm hoping they won't stop. So I'm thinking perhaps Icecrown Citadel would also be a really useful raid to have a skip for, and the same for Dragon Soul too. Those raids that just have lots and lots of bosses that are quite far apart from one another, take a lot of travel time. For the sake of farming, having those skips in place will be really beneficial and doesn't really take away much from the experience because they're legacy raids, so people are mostly just doing it for cosmetics, achievements, things like that. Do let me know in the comments down below which raid you would like to see a skip integrated into. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please do give a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this from me as well. I wish you the very best in farming Siege of Orgrimmar as of patch 10.1.5 if you still need to, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye!